What's up, everybody? So we let the pool get a little dirty. We were away for a few days. We have some rain finally. So yeah, it needs to be cleaned out. And I wasn't going to do it with the normal vacuum that you got to plug in and it's a whole headache. We're going to test out the Garvee battery powered one. And let me go ahead and show you actually what comes in the box first. Right here, we're looking at the Garvee portable and battery powered pool vacuum. So looking right here at the head, we can see some brushes on it as well as some rollers, and it does have a nice size to it, so it should work pretty well sucking up everything in the pool. Next, we have the unit itself along with the pre-installed filter bag. It includes a second filter bag as well, which is really nice. In addition to the extension handle, the plug for AC to charge it up, your instructions, and you can also see the short handle as well. So it looks like if you want to use it with a handle that retracts, then you could use it here, or if you want to use it just as a smaller vac, you can get this little handle and attach it. It's got little push buttons right on here, makes it nice and easy, slide it on, and then you can also slide it right off. So we're going to use it as a pool vacuum. Push that down in place, and right there. Let's have a good amount of weight to it, but in the pool should be completely fine. Looks pretty straightforward and easy to use, and plenty of extension on that pole. See how one. My guess is you could probably use it with another handle too. Most of these handles are all about the same size. I think that's about it. Well, a little bit taller than me. Maybe we're talking about 8 feet or so total with the vacuum on it. So that's pretty nice. And then when you're done with it, you can obviously just take it and slide it back down into place and remove it if you need to, if you want to put it on that other handle. So we're going to charge it. We're going to see how well it performs. So this should make it really simple to clean. You don't have to hook up hoses. You don't have to suck out the water. It's going to be an all-in-one, and it's battery powered, so you're not dealing with any straight electricity to it, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you want to go in the pool, you can do it. It also has this nice handle here, which extends out. It does have a shorter handle, so if you want to use it in the pool yourself. And it looks like it will connect to other longer, normal size handles. So if you have a really long one, you can just do it that way too. Let's go ahead and take a look actually what the pool looks like right now. So you can see we got some sand that has kicked up, some bugs in there, a few leaves. I actually even spotted a little crawfish right in there, a little mud bug, because we get them around here. Pretty interesting. He's probably no good, but anyway, so you can see a bunch of little things all just sitting here. We're gonna go ahead and see how well this sucks everything up. We got a little frog, not gonna get him, but it should do a pretty good job here. So on this, you can see the filter that's in there. It's gonna suck it up, and we do have a speed control as well as your on off. And if you're gonna go in the water at all, obviously this is gonna go in the water. Just wanna make sure that's all the way down, so it's gonna keep it nice and plugged so nothing gets into that charging port. There, that sucked it right in. Now I think the pole that it comes with is not super long, so that's just something to keep in mind there. But it's doing a really good job, and just nice because it is battery powered and you don't have to worry about hooking up all the hoses. It's going to be pretty heavy also when you pick it up out of the water, so just keep that in mind. See that little mud bug? Is he still alive? He looks like he is. He's swimming. Yeah, there he is. One thing I'll definitely say is this extension is not very long. So I'm sure if you have an in-ground pool, you probably have a longer extension that you could work with. And I would probably recommend doing that. So actually, I'm gonna go attach that one. This would probably be good if you were like in the pool, but as you get towards the deep end or the middle of the pool, it makes it really hard to get the stuff. I would say so far, overall, it's doing a pretty good job. I tried it on both speed settings. And we're about 10 to 15 minutes in, and the battery's still going strong. I see a green light on it. It has a good amount of suction. May have to clean out the filter in it just to keep it going. Depending on how much debris you really have in. I'm trying to do this with one hand. So compared to some other ones, that I've used in the past. I said this would be pretty comparable, and think it's doing a pretty good job. I feel like maybe it's a little bit slower. Maybe the surface area is not as much as like some of the bigger ones that hook up to the pool, but overall it's doing a pretty good job. So I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to brush it a little bit, do that, empty the filter, and we're going to go ahead and finish it up. So cleaning this proved to be a little bit of a challenge. I took it out. These are like a rubber gasket. You pull it apart and then flip this down to bring the whole thing out. Then you can dump the inner filter and clean that out when you're totally done with it. But then putting it back, it seems like this only sits one way because the other way kept wanting to pop out. And then you just have to line some things up. Now, just looking at this is a hard piece of plastic. For some reason, I thought it was more of a rubber to contour. So this is not gonna contour to your wall. So just keep that in mind. You have to go straight down with it. So I really would like to see that instead of being ABS plastic, that it's more of a rubber. Now, obviously other pool vacuums, they can go both ways, but that's just something I would really like to see, because getting stuff off the wall, I'm gonna have to bring it in with the brush first and really get it to go down on the bottom. So overall, what do I think about the Garvee battery powered pool vacuum? I think it works really good for your day-to-day vacuuming. If you have a lot of debris in the pool, you're probably gonna still wanna use the actual one that's going through the filter. Now, the one thing that I did mention earlier was I would like to see a more rubber head on here so it would contour. It does move if you're going straight down vertically against the wall, and you do have the rollers on it. So yes, it will turn, but depending on how much of a curve that is, you may miss some of the items and have to just go back and do it again. It does have the 2 speeds. I found that the high speed was really the one that worked the best for me. Maybe if you would use the lower speed, maybe you're in the pool with it using the small little handle. It did allow for me to attach a much longer pole to it. The one that's included, probably good for like a above ground pool or not very wide pool. But again, if you have a bigger pool, you're probably gonna have a longer handle, and it's universal, fits right on there. I vacuumed for about 25 minutes or so, and the battery still shows full power, so that's great, and only had to empty this once. Now, did I really have to empty it? Probably not, but I did do that. And the first time doing that, it was a little bit of a challenge, but I did figure it out. Just make sure it goes the right way, and you tighten everything back in place here, and it will clip down, and then you are all set. So that's good. Of course, if you don't put it back right, it's probably gonna fall apart in the water, and you'll be cursing and saying, well, I didn't do that right. One thing I will note, I've used these before in the past. Definitely take the filter out, clean it after each use, because if you don't, it is gonna stink something awful. Now, I can show you what the pool looks like here. I didn't do a fantastic job, but I can show you just an idea of working this for about 20 to 25 minutes. I think it did a pretty good job for how much debris that I really had in the pool. So let me show you. You can see there's a few little pieces here and there that it didn't pick up, and I think some of it just has to be brushed. And really, if I took the time like I should have and done probably 2 passes like normal, it would have came out looking really nice. Now, I did not disturb our little crawfish friend or his area, so I'm gonna come back and do that. And another thing to note, I've noticed with these vacuums that because it's using the water pressure and the suction and it shoots it out, as you get closer to the top there, it sometimes gives vacuum problems. So if you hear that happening, just know that it's because you're out of the water, and you're probably gonna wanna reset it into the water so it doesn't burn out the motor, but also you get that vacuum going. You can always brush the top and let it settle a little bit further down, but we've dealt with no rocks here, but leaves, sand, and just some other like little sediments, some bugs, and I think it did a really good job. Now, like I mentioned, I don't know if I would use this if I had tons of debris in the pool again, to do it as that first sweep, or maybe like when you open the pool in the beginning of the season, you would probably want to use the actual filter and suck all that water right out and do it that way. But for the daily, you could probably use this in a small hot tub, smaller pool, anything like that. I think for the daily use, it's going to prove to be pretty perfect. The suction power was nice. The
thing with the head, I mean, you could probably get over that. I would like to see a rubber option as well, maybe included, where you can get a straight ABS hard plastic one as well as a rubber one, depending on what you want to use. You do have a second filter which is included, as well as the second ring here, so that's really nice. The big thing is we're going to see how long does the battery last, because I've had other units in the past from other companies and the battery lasts maybe 1 or 2 seasons. That seems to be the deal with a lot of these products, and that's just aggravating because it's usually not easy to replace these. And I do see some type of piece here, it looks like access to the motor. I don't know if that's to the battery, but that's just something to keep in mind. But for the most part, if you're looking to keep your pool nice and clean and just don't want the hassle of hooking up hoses every day or every other day, then something like this one, this battery powered pool vac from Garvee, may be something that you want to check out as well.